everyone and welcome to our community. Today at Talk to Walk at Bharatvani, we have a very special guest. His name is Sharda Swain. His innovation is on substituting 1,2,3 agents triazoles as anti-tumor agents. Hi Sharda, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, my name is Sharda Prasanna Swain. So I belong to state of Odisha and I did my bachelor in pharmaceutical science from Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, and then my master's in pharmaceutical chemistry from Manipal University, Karnataka. And then my PhD I did in National Tsinghua University. It is the city Hsinchu in the country Taiwan. And then I did the advanced postdoctoral studies also. Another university is called National Central University, Taiwan. Then followed by another postdoc at the University of Texas at San Antonio, USA.
Okay.
And I have industrial experience, almost 6 years. Also some academic experience. So industry like Dr. Reddy's, Torrent Pharmaceuticals, these companies, research center, I have already worked.
Okay, that's nice. Okay. So, moving on to your innovation, can you tell us a little bit, more on it, or, how would you explain it, just to a layman?
Okay, so explain it. In drug discovery, it's related to a drug discovery. We call it new chemical entity. In short form, we call NCE. So it's a new organic NCE, new chemical entity.
Oh.
So in drug discovery, that term we use it. And it's a new organic molecules, so developed and synthesized in the lab, and it tested in the cancer cells in the in vitro as well as in the animals.
Okay. So how did you come up with this idea?
This my research on cancer started when I was doing my master's at Manipal University, my second year project work. Though it's not a very big thing that I can file a patent and all. So during my postdoctoral studies, after my PhD, only this last 3 years, that period only this happened in Taiwan, particularly when I was working. So we designed along with the Professor Hogg, one was there at the university, collaborated. We designed, I personally researched. And one oncologist, particularly in Taiwan, medical doctors also they are involved in the research. It's not only practicing. So Taipei University, that medical oncology involved, they help us study in the cell lines, cancer cells, and also in the animal models.
Okay.
So it is happened there.
And what is your vision for this innovation?
Vision is obviously we must take next is the preclinical studies. Now it is animal studies. We have done some experiments, preclinical, followed by phase 1 clinical trial, we call it, the human trials.
Okay.
If I can finish up to that, obviously some big giant pharma company can collaborate and take forward to the clinic by phase 2 and 3 studies.
So what were the results from the animal experiments that you had done?
So first I will say, after we synthesize the compounds, we take the cancer cell lines in the in vitro studies, we call it, in vitro. So then if we get some results, then we try to do in some animals.
Okay.
So we need some animal, every country has some animal ethical committee, they have to approve. We cannot directly go it by...
True, yes.
So we take some permission and we did some animal studies. It also shows equally active, like we saw in the laboratory in the in vitro. And we call it in vivo studies.
Okay.
So we got the activity. The major key differentiator, what is the traditional, particularly this was active for prostate cancer. Prostate is a specialty, is male oriented, in the for male patients face this kind of problem. So yes. So majorly the elderly, when you are more than 60 or 65, you are more prone to this kind of disease. But nowadays, due to metropolitan, it is also below 50. Also, it is happening nowadays. So it will be genetic change, or it can be lifestyle habit, or it can be the reason it is happening. The key differentiator is if when disease go to the advanced stage, people start giving the hormone therapy rather than the traditional. So if you after some time, some cases of the hormone don't respond to the human body. So it's called when the hormone therapy is not working out in that kind of cancer, particularly our molecule is active. So that is the difference of what is the existing in the market and what is the our. Another difference is every cancer drug will have some property of immunosuppression. That means our immunity will keep it down. So once our immunity goes down, you will be susceptible to other diseases attack.
Yeah.
It can be bacteria, it can be virus.
Yes.
So in preliminary studies, we find in immunity suppression capacity, this molecule is better than the existing drug. Though we need further studies, but we have some initial data which we have published in some international journal called OncoTarget year 2016.
Okay. So while when you had this idea, what were you trying to solve with this innovation? Like what problem were you trying to solve?
Yes, I said that major difference what I told is the all cancer drugs what are available currently for the prostate cancer. It will have immunosuppression as well as if you are advanced stage, it will start like resistant or is not responding to the existing drug molecule. So this will have advantage over in the cell line studies that the non-responsive or hormone therapy, particularly which cancer is not responding, this is active. And also less immunosuppressive. So if it is less immunosuppressive, that means the patient can well tolerate the drug. If you're so that is the difference, and this all we are trying to. Although you can see many cancer drugs are there, but still people are dying.
Yeah.
Because another, if age is more, the drug you give, it will kill your normal cells as well as the cancer cell. So if you have better immunity or it is not suppressing your immunity, that the drug can be well tolerated, the patient survival will be higher compared to the existing drug molecule. So this is the difference.
Okay. And so can you share an interesting story that happened while you were innovating your product?
Interesting, I cannot say exactly interesting, but I can tell the story how it is happened, how I start the research on this area.
For sure.
Because my PhD, after my PhD, I started when the postdoctoral research there, because I had two parts. One is organic as well as one other part is the medicinal chemistry. So in traditional medicine industries, pharmaceutical industry, what we do is either you discover new drug or you develop a new process for the existing drug, which we call the generic or off-patent drug. Okay. So my professor wanted to work on the more organic rather than the medicinal. So one day I meet him, I told him, no, I want to work on this medicine. He thought I will quit and go. Because I joined within 1 month, I told him. So then he called next day, you can start other project. Medicinal, I don't pursue. I told professor, I can work what you say. I will put extra effort, I will also work on this. So I will simultaneously run two projects. So it satisfies your requirement as well as mine. So it should be mutual benefit. It should not be one-sided. So I cannot give based on. So he agreed and he helped to coordinate with oncologists, what I told medical doctors. How can proceed further? So ultimately, what you discover, it has to go to clinic. So beginning, if we include one oncologist or medical doctor, he can suggest how to do the study. So this will happen and he helped me. This is the way we started. And he will help from the university funding to file the US patent. And now, I am an inventor, but concern is the university still they are ready if I do further in the India and move forward. They agree, the university still, professor agree, they're still coordinating. Though I last year, 19, I think that DBT has one program, it's called NBEC, National Bio Entrepreneurship Competition. So regional, I was the Eastern region, out of 300, I was in the top 10, but was clear fine to get any investor attracted. But still like the idea, it moved forward. So let us, I have to find other forum where I can present it, I can take some other funding to get the preclinical studies. So this is the story.
Okay. And how are you utilizing your technologies, for services and, and making it more user-friendly?
Obviously, we say this is not a consumer product. They cannot use directly. One doctor has to prescribe it. But drug discovery, if you do indigenous in India, obviously the cost goes down compared to the US or other European countries.
Oh, okay.
And you know, when a new drug is launched by the multinational, the cost is too high. You will always see that when any new cancer drug is coming, Indian population cannot afford, middle class or lower. And cancer can happen to the class, it doesn't matter, higher or lower. So in that case, if we discover an indigenously, obviously cost goes down. It can be affordable. We can say affordable medicine for the Indian population. So this can be.
Okay, that's interesting. So along the way, has there any, have you acquired any learnings, with this innovation?
Yes, so drug discovery is like high risk, high return. We can say in business people how it is the difference. It is a high risk as well as high return. If you drug clicks, you will get maybe millions or billions rupees. But risk is also high. You have to invest to high amount of money, and we don't know. Sometimes in the animal it is success, but it is maybe fail in the human when you try it. Some difference is there. It happens in that case. Or it may be working, or it may be some other side effect. So that on that case, you have to withdraw the molecule. So it is high risk, high investment, but if it clicks, you will get high return. This is the case. So learning is Indian many investors there. That is my understanding when I was presenting last 19 at NBC. So investors are not very hesitant to invest in the money because due to high risk. So that is my understanding, but still we should keep on doing research, keep on finding the alternative investor or anything. So there I find at least I take the phase 1. Then phase 2, phase 3 maybe that is more money required. That time we can collaborate big giant pharma companies, maybe from other countries. And that is my learning. And second thing in pharmaceutical, what I told is India is called the pharmacy of world, which line people use because due to generic product. So what generic product do we prepare the same product in new process, though we do not develop the new. So simultaneously, as a researcher, you want to be entrepreneur. So we should do those kind of research also. Their investment will be less, so that you can continue your both research simultaneously, and because you have to get the money for that. So that is my learning. If you wish to drug discovery simultaneously, you have to do some other earning, money making also business. Then only you can run it.
Oh, okay. So, what is your next step? What are you planning to do next?
Next step, like DBT is giving some funding for drug research related, but the new drug, they are not giving much. So I am planning to apply any funding from DBT or any other, mostly in India is giving, whether they can give to me the preclinical studies. If I give a preclinical, then we can, for phase 1, I can go, okay, I have the preclinical phase 1, some other investor. Once phase 1 we have success, then we will have buyers for this molecule. So DBT, I can plan, I am looking for any DBT funding or any funding for the preclinical studies. So that is the first phase. Next phase 1. Once phase 1, obviously what I discussed with some of my friends in the company, your phase 1 data, you can display many conferences, there international conference, you display it. Many buyers may come for that. So this is the process for this. I am planning.
Okay, that's nice. Hopefully, you get the funding and this can go ahead. So do you have any, advice that you would like to give our young entrepreneurs and innovators of India?
Yes, that's what I told pharmacy. India is called pharmacy of the world. We should simultaneously we should not stop because we are not getting good molecule to the market. Doesn't mean India should stop doing this discovery process. Okay. So we should keep on doing simultaneously that I told the new process development work should be done. And we know pharmaceutical sector has a lot of scope. After IT, you can see pharma is the major all over the world. It has a scope. And recently, we can see that during pandemic, what happened, whatever off-patent drug we call it active pharmaceutical ingredients. Okay. So you take one tablet, suppose paracetamol, the whole the 650 mg it is written, but the tablet if you weigh it is not 650 higher. So the main content paracetamol is called active pharmaceutical ingredient. So for this we need some we call key starting materials or raw materials which mostly we procure from other countries. Mostly, I cannot take the name of the country, but it comes outside during pandemic, and the supply chain was disrupted. Okay, or that is one reason, or we may have also conflict with some country. It can be in financial conflict, it can be war conflict. So I cannot take the name of the country. Obviously, it is understandable. So it happened because I am in pharmaceutical sector. So it happened. The country also to control us, they purposefully try to stop it. Okay. So if they cannot supply raw material, we cannot make it in India. If we cannot make in the API, I'm saying, we cannot make the finished tablet capsule. So that happened. So now Indian government is planning or giving some incentive so that those intermediate stage we can make in India itself. Okay. So they have made a very gross list, 53 molecules. So they have identified 53 molecules. Indian government, Department of Pharmaceutical, Ministry of Chemical Fertilizer. So whether we can prepare, that is the just 53. It doesn't mean we have lot of more, but at least the which are highly essential. If we stop it, we will even deep trouble the whole country. So there is scope. So still we can work it. Some can do less investment, can start it. Some companies because there we may not require too very big investment, so we can do it. So some entrepreneur can also look into it and start that business. So it's not very high risk. So there also we can invest some money and get in the return. And it's not only the pharmaceutical sector, only it's not the new drug, it's allied. Like you can see the nutraceuticals. If you start the pharmaceutical, nutraceutical is part of the package. You can move to nutraceutical, you can move to the consumer products, like you say OTC product. So it's if you start something, so slowly you can expand. Also, it has a broad sphere. So pharmaceutical is active. Business source is there, so we can look in a right positive direction.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for giving us your time. That's all that we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us and being on Bharatwani. And I hopefully truly hope that you get the funding and your funding goes through and we can see this drug. I feel it's going to help a lot of people. Thank you for giving us your time. And thank you for coming on Bharatwani.
Thank you, Erika.
And that's all we have for you folks today. Thank you for joining us. And if you're interested in many such innovations, do sign up at bharatwani.in. And don't forget to like and share this video.